Now, you've probably looked at the thumbnail of this video and you're seeing a fantastic space AK. We need to talk about this thing because it's actually incredible. So the new Warbond has dropped. This is Dust Devils. And I've got some of the stuff unlocked on the first page. But this assault rifle is actually bonkers. It's the AR-2 Coyote. Now, I think with this, it just feels really good to use. You're going to see in the gameplay when we get stuck into the video, but it's just so good. So it does 75 damage. That's actually bonkers, that is. It's incendiary as well, so it basically explodes when it hits targets, and it's medium armor penetrating. This is really good against the bugs, which have all got armor, especially those new burrowing enemies. When they come out of the ground, you can just absolutely annihilate them. You can just annihilate everything. I mean, the hive guards as well, they've always been super annoying and frustrating, but it kind of puts this AR-2 Coyote up there with the best assault rifles. Maybe it is the best assault rifle, but is it as good as, I guess, the meta weapons like the crossbow and the purifier and all that kind of thing? Probably not, but it feels really good to use. And I think actually, in terms of what this Warbond offers, this is like it's really easy to get. You can unlock the Warbond. Obviously, you need to use super credits for that, and then you can pick this up. I think it was like 35 medals, so it's really cheap to get. And yeah, it's just really fun. It's so much fun to use. But anyway, I can't really comment on any of this other stuff because I haven't unlocked it yet. But yeah. You can also put a ×10 scope on this, which is actually a pretty good customization, I'd imagine. Given the way this weapon works, and the handling of the weapon is really good as well. Very easy to use. The only downside is you don't have any magazine customization, so you can't like slap a drum magazine on it, which would be absolutely insane if you could. Anyway, let's get stuck into these changes. Now, what Arrowhead have done is they've brought forward a number of, I guess, performance fixes to try and alleviate some of the issues that are in the game at the moment. Now, so basically what we've got is the spear gun. They've decreased the reload duration from 3.5 to 2.5 seconds. Now, with the spear gun, I believe this has been causing crashes as well when people have got this equipped and firing with it. I don't know why or how it does that, but that is being reported, so that's something to be aware of. And the silo missile, they've reduced the cooldown from 210 seconds to 180 seconds. Now, in terms of the fixes, they fixed the crash that can happen when too many particle effects are spawned. I think this is what was happening to me when I was going into the hives. It was just like locking up the game, and it was absolutely unplayable. It still seems to happen now, by the way. They fixed the crash where Helldivers are in hell pods after being reinforced. They also fixed an issue where light emitted by the hell pad could become excessively bright under certain conditions. General crash fix during automaton missions. Fixed an issue in which hive world tunnels become darker than intended in certain circumstances when a user is using lower graphics settings, and fixed the crash that could occur if the target of a seeking missile gets deleted before impact, and the extraction shuttle will land in a more safe and sound manner. But anyway, weapons and stratagem fixes. So the warp pack getting stuck and suspended in the air or crashing has apparently been fixed. They fixed a rare crash caused by multiple players having the MA5C equipped on the Super Destroyer, fixed displacement backpack visual effects issues while aiming down sights, and fixed a rare crash which would occur when aborting a mission while a player was wielding a turret or driving a vehicle. So yeah, I mean, this is what they've done. They've brought forward a patch. They're always going to be fighting against technical issues, and we've actually got a bit more information here from Shams, the CEO of Arrowhead. So I think we should break this down because he's very active on Discord, and again, it gives us insight into what they're doing with the game. So he was asked about technical debt. Now, this is just the idea of the more and more you make a system complex, if you're not sort of cleaning up your mess, you're inviting technical debt in, where it's getting more and more convoluted, and there's going to be legacy issues that maybe were implemented into the code years ago, and they're just going to get worse. They're going to get amplified as time goes on, and it's an issue. So he says this: yes, the technical debt is crippling. With the Xbox release behind us, we'll be able to make a much better stab at it, like a double stab with a bigger knife. Now, this is good news. So this kind of indicates that they were putting a lot of effort into the Xbox launch to hit the console certification for that. They've obviously managed to do that, and they've got that out of the door. I mean, I'd be very skeptical, to be honest, though, because the state of the game on PC, I know PC is a completely different client. There's a lot of different, well, in fact, there's infinite hardware configurations that they have to plan for, whereas on consoles, everyone's got the same hardware, so it makes it a lot easier to optimize the game. So maybe it's not as bad on console, but I still know there's a lot of issues being reported on consoles. This, though, is good news. They are going to start looking at it, so this is only really a positive. But again, this is the sort of thing you expect them to say, right? It's not going to come out and go, yeah, the engine's a mess and the performance is terrible, we're just going to carry on as normal. Somebody also asked, I think an update mainly focused on performance updates would be a good idea. And Sham says this: if we could put every single soul on just performance and stability and significantly improve those, we would. But not everyone can make an impact on performance, and the issues that need to be fixed are complex and take time to work at. Thanks for the kind words. We'll keep working hard in earning that support. Now, this again sort of leads into those complexities with game development, right? You can have 10 developers that work on, let's say, engine optimizations, right? It's a very broad sort of idea. And you can't just go out and get another 50 developers and slam them onto it and go, off you go, guys, make the game efficient. Because they're going to need to learn how the engine works. That's going to take time. So the issue with all of this is it's all going to take time. Now, it's going to come down to the quality of the staff they've got at Arrowhead, the quality of new hires they can pick up, and the quality of their, I guess, pipeline when it comes to work, whether they can actually fix these issues and make a meaningful impact in them. Because I still think, like, when you, I mean, you'll see in this video clip, if I haven't edited them out, I can't quite remember where I am in the video, but, like, there's still moments where you're dropping down with a hell pod reinforcing, you just landed on the top of the hive. I mean, that's game-breakingly, that's just game-breaking. Like, how is that in the game? The drop pod should go straight through the gap. There should be no issues with that. It should be automatically controlled straight through the gap, not landing on the edge. That's actually terrible. Then we talk about things like drop pod control when you're outside. It seems to, wherever you get reinforced, it just fires your pod. Well, yeah, I keep calling it drop pod. It is drop pod, but your hell pod, whatever, just flies in miles away from where you actually were reinforced from. It's just bonkers. Then you've got things like when you're the host of the game, it's almost impossible to avoid the burrowing enemies. They just appear at your feet. You've got no reaction time. It's like, what the hell? They hit you straight away. These are all issues which are like crap. I mean, you can't allow them to stay in the game much longer. You've got to sort them out, right? So, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of these little annoying things that they really do need to fix. I do want to highlight this, though, because Shams says, well, I can't speak for the rest of the industry, but this is how I want the devs of the games I play to talk, so I do the same. That said, I think we could be better. We've been talking about doing more regular blogs and streams, and we haven't quite gotten going there. Digital X Streams and Warframe are great at this. And I'll be honest, yeah, Shams, fantastic. This is the best way to speak to your community. Just be real, right? Just talk to people how you'd expect to be spoken to. You cannot go wrong doing that. When you get all these, like, wankers who are into, like, PR wash shite. I mean, I've seen that for years with companies like Blizzard and all of that. They used to be terrible for it, where everything is a PR statement. Nothing is real. Everything is sanitized beyond belief. No one wants that. You know, nothing's going to be perfect. There's going to be issues. Be real with your player base, and I think that resonates with them, and it works. And clearly it works as well, because look at Helldivers. It is a massive success, even with these performance-related issues and just, well, game-breaking bugs. So let's talk about content creators, because this is true for the entire gaming industry, right? So Helldivers 2 Studio CEO says the vast majority of people silently play the shooter, which means the devs can't just look at Reddit and what streamers are saying for feedback. This is a challenge for all games. This is the most truest statement that has ever been said. Now, there are some positives to looking at places like Reddit, looking at what content creators are talking about, looking at what's going on social media. It can give you a snapshot of some element of the community. Now, if there is a major problem, everyone will be talking about the same thing. So it's kind of easy to pick up on that. But if there's like little issues with, like, I guess to use content creators as an example, and this isn't just Helldivers specific, it's any game where there's any kind of loadout. You've got this concept of meta, right? That's the meta loadout. You need to use this loadout all of the time. It's worthless using anything else. Don't bother. If you're not taking these weapons, these abilities, these skills, whatever it may be in whatever game, then you'll throw in the game. Or tier lists, right? Look at this tier list of heroes in the game, like Marvel Rivals, let's say. You should be playing these heroes in this season. You shouldn't be playing other heroes, etc., etc., etc. That's where content creators create this little vacuum where it's almost like a little mini reality, because generally content creators are at the upper echelons of whatever game they're playing. So they're talking from a very skilled perspective, which is like 0.0.011 of the entire community of a game. Now, games like Helldivers, it's not as, I guess, pronounced as that, because those games I just gave as examples are PvP games. This is PvE, right? So there is more flexibility, but you still got that element of, well, you should maybe bring this to the mission, you shouldn't do that. I mean, I played a mission with the ballistic shield in the hive, just on my back, because I wanted the back armor. Because I didn't want to get instantly killed when they jumped me from behind the bugs. And it kind of worked. It was like, yeah, it kind of works. It's not optimal, no way, but it's funny to do it. And, well, that's the point, right? Games are fun. Now, the idea of the vast majority of people silently playing the game. It's true, right? Most people just play games. They don't really consume content outside of games. Again, you can see this if you really drill down to things like viewership figures on Twitch, on YouTube, wherever you want to go. If a game has got millions of players, you would expect all of the content to get made to have tons and tons of views, millions and millions of views, because they're all watching. But that's not true. It's like 10% of the community convert over to actually watching, I guess, what you could call shoulder content, like additional content to the game that they're enjoying. So if you're playing Helldivers and you're watching this video, well, I mean, you're like a super fan of Helldivers, really, even in the grand scheme of things, because you're actually consuming content outside of playing the game. And that makes you a massive like fan of the game and a very engaged gamer. But yeah, I do agree with what he's saying here. It is true. Don't really focus too much on what's being said. The developers have got things they can look at. Of course, they can look at statistics. They can look at, you know, the amount of revenue the game's making, the amount of active concurrent players. Helldivers is unique in this respect because you can see it in the game. I'm not talking about going to things like SteamDB, but obviously when you're looking at the galactic map, you can see the number of active Helldivers across all platforms. And you can see it'll be easily up in like the 300,000 plus figure. That's a very healthy game because that's concurrent players, and that is actually sick. So they're doing all the right things. And I've got to be honest as well, I think this recent Warbond has been pretty good. I know they've been buffing some of the weapons. Obviously, I haven't used the harpoon or the missile and things like that. I've been using the assault rifle, which I always feel like is worth getting the Warbond anyway, because it's so good. Maybe you could argue it's Arrowhead selling solutions to players, which maybe isn't the best, but I don't know. I will wrap the video up and say this, right? I'm enjoying playing this, but it is still super frustrating, Arrowhead. I doubt anyone from Arrowhead's watching this video, but it's been really annoying to like use the feature where you join missions in progress and you're just spawning on top of hives, or everybody's leaving the mission because it's seemingly lost, or it's not really too clear what should be done on the mission. Objectives are underground, or maybe they're a bit far away and players not really playing around them, or they're getting caught in endless battles outside of the hives before they even get in. I don't know. Like, there's a load of little issues which I think need fixing, and hopefully they get fixed, but I feel like we've been talking about them, or well, we've been experiencing them for a few years now. I don't know. All right, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'm still enjoying this. I just want them to make the game more optimized, and I think I'll be happy. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. I'm Stylosa. You can follow me on everything, which is @Stylosa, and I'll catch you lovely up on the next one. See you soon.